Hey guys, Pixelboo here, and welcome back to another video. Recently, I was using some new fans to replace the stock fans on my Corsair H100i V2 cooler that is in right here, this machine. And you may be noticing a different setup. I'll talk about that later. I just thought the lighting was a bit better, and it's so much more convenient for me to be looking at the camera over here and my computer right here. So that's why I was making exaggerated motions towards my PC. But yeah, so I decided to go for the newly released CORSAIR ML120 fans, not the Pro version, and decided to make a video on it and why I chose them. These fans are a bit pricier than most, $33 for a 2-pack, whereas its predecessors, the CORSAIR AF120 fans, were around the range of $23 for a 2-pack. I got the non-LED versions, which I believe are the only ones available on Amazon currently of the 120 edition versus the 120 Pro. And I think it has all the colors of the 120 Pro, however, those are $25 a piece. But what makes them so expensive? This Cooler Master Jetflow blue LED fan over here is $15 each. I picked this up for an exhaust fan, I believe, before I did my new configuration. And this fan here has... which way is front? I'm so confused. This fan has rubber corners, a self-lubricating interior, which, granted, does attract a lot of dust. It's pretty insane. It has a 2,000 RPM control range and LEDs. So, all that stuffed into $15 value, which is just a bit cheaper than a single ML120 fan would be. However, usually when they're in a 2-pack, the single fan is a bit more expensive than it would be. So, pretty much the Cooler Master fan in a 2-pack would probably be around $28. So yeah, what makes the ML120 fans, which I'm trying to look at but are not visible, I realize that. What makes these fans so expensive, I guess? What makes them so prized? Currently, they are rated one of the best consumer-grade fans available. It could be that they do have a 4-pin PWM cable, just like this one right here, or it could be that they have a bit more RPM, as 2400 RPM, a very extensive control range that you can set the fans to. And all in all, it's really it. It has no self-lubricating interior, no rubber corners. Everything is pretty basic in there. You guys probably can't hear that, but they're like fluctuating insanely right now. My fan curves get a bit messed up at certain temperatures, especially on quiet mode. But you guys probably can't hear it because this microphone is very close range. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, everything is pretty basic on it. However, what made me choose it is, you may have realized it is on a radiator configuration. It's the Corsair H100i V2. The stock fans that are included on it, which I do not believe I have here, those are static pressure fans. The blades are super thick, thicker than this stock Thermaltake fan. And there's less blades. It just pushes a lot more air every rotation to go through the radiator and cool down all the water. However, these ML120 Pro fans, they're not optimized towards either. The blades are kind of like this, maybe a bit thinner, I forget, but the airflow CFM, cubic foot, I honestly have no clue what that stands for, is actually higher than most airflow optimized fans, mainly the AF120, its predecessor, as I like to call it, and it has more static pressure than an SP120 fan, which is optimized towards static pressure. So it's definitely an interesting fan. But mainly, if you haven't figured it out already, what ML stands for is mag-lev. These are magnetic levitation fans so that you have near silent noise, as it really has nothing to rub against, nothing to vibrate. It's just the fan blades and motor itself that could be making even the slightest bit of noise. Now, at full speed, of course, you definitely can hear them. They sound like normal fans, but on my fan curve currently, because of how well they're doing, yeah, all the other fans are off. It's just those two ML120 fans spinning. Graphics card isn't spinning. Neither exhaust nor intakes are, which I realize probably isn't very optimized for very good airflow. However, that's just how good they are. So, and because of this special feature, I thought I would make a video on it. Like I said, they are newly released. So I decided to compare them to, once again, their predecessor, the AF120 fans, which I don't have out right now. I had them out earlier for doing the benchmarks. I used this Cooler Master JetFlow as the exhaust fan, but now I have those installed as exhaust and intake versus this one, which was intaking air. Of course, the exhaust and intake fans don't really matter when you're doing CPU temperature benchmarks, but I thought I'd keep it consistent as I was already using those on the radiator and had to find some other fans to use as exhaust and intake. So, without any further ado, let's get into the benchmarks. I love how right as I start up another application to retrieve the benchmarks, the fans actually go down. So when there's more applications running, apparently it doesn't need as much cooling. What? I'm so confused. However, there is this weird glare from my monitor here that I am noticing. That's why I'm looking at the video recording of me. It definitely is a weird light. I don't know. I'll see what I can do about that. I don't really think it matters once again, but yeah. So as you can see on screen now, the AF120 fans, when put on the push configuration on the H100i radiator, they got a score of 628 in Cinebench, a CPU temperature of 40 degrees and motherboard temperature of 25 degrees when idle, and a 73 degree CPU temperature and 30 degree motherboard temperature when under load using AIDA64's extreme system stability test. And yes, it is stable, finally. You may be wondering why finally. With my other cooler, it actually wasn't even stable. I found it was my FX9370. I probably should list the CPU. However, it is on screen. Like I said, it wasn't even marked as stable. Realbench said instability detected, and I found out that 4.2 gigahertz as opposed to 4.4 gigahertz is the only stable bit. Whereas now I can probably overclock this to 4.5. I'll see about that. I might make a video on that later. And then the 3D Mark's Time Spy DirectX 12 benchmark in the CPU physics test. This had a score of 3,353. Alright, now moving on to the ML120 fans. We had a score of 659 in the CPU test in Cinebench, a CPU temperature of 37 degrees and motherboard temp of 26 degrees when idle, and a CPU temp of 60 degrees with a motherboard temperature of 27 degrees when under load, once again using AIDA64's extreme system stability test. Now finally, to see if there really was any big improvement besides the temperature and Cinebench, so I guess those are improvement anyway, or what, I don't even know. In Time Spy, it got a CPU score of 3,495, almost 3,500, which is almost 200 more than the AF120 fan scored. And that may not seem like a lot, but it actually is. I forgot to record the overall score for the AF120 fans. However, the ML120 fans got an overall score of, 5337. And you may be like, oh yeah, just because you're 1070. But when using the other cooling, I believe this was my old cooler, it was more in the range of 5257. So about 1,000 more, or not 1,000, about 100 more. So in the overall score, so it does definitely affect leaderboards or whatever. Of course, I'm not really on any leaderboards, but if you are considering these fans, definitely they will help with that. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you are enjoying this new angle. I certainly like it. Like I said, I believe there is better lighting. There we go. I'm on a black screen-ish now in OBS, so you can see the light on my end, but it doesn't affect my face anymore, which is nice. The lighting all around is more even. It doesn't provide this orange glare in aperture priority. I don't really know what that was about. I had to use auto mode and select this light, bright daylight scene. It was pretty weird. I know this mic arm is in the way. I don't want to be holding my mic because it's such a close range microphone. If I make slight adjustments and stuff, like I'm even doing in this video anyway, it can really mess with it. I might even end up using the camera microphone as I'm recording that and this microphone, just because I am not too sure how my movement is really affecting it, like I said. But yeah, with that all being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like, share, a comment, whatever down below if you did. Subscribe if you do want to see more videos like this. I do have others planned, like I always say, and I will start getting on it. School just started, of course, so still trying to figure out some sort of schedule for recording. I haven't gotten that figured out yet. But yeah, once again, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye-bye.